before we jump into it, I want to let you guys know about this because we talked about it briefly yesterday, but you might not have seen it if you're not really into World War II all that much because that was the topic of yesterday's video. But today I want to let you guys know once again that we end up having some cool stuff in Black Ops 3 for this weekend. Firstly, we have Quad Feed XP, which gives you double XP, double weapon XP, double crypto keys, double liquid divinium, all in one weekend across the board. Obviously, liquid divinium only in zombies, but still you have an opportunity to level up everything in the game, no matter what capacity or what type of grind you're going for. If you guys are looking for it, of course, now's a great time to try and get double crypto keys if you're looking for the new XPR, because we haven't had a double crypto key weekend in forever. So definitely try and grind that out if you have the chance. But also, I want to let you guys know that there is right now for this weekend only, once again, it closes on Monday. Simply just log on, you'll get an exclusive calling card for Black Ops 4, and it'll be a calling card you can find in the default category of your calling card selection. But the catch is, it's once again only for this weekend. So starting yesterday and then going until Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 a.m. Pacific, and 6 p.m. GMT for both of these things. Both the Quad Feed event and this special calling card are only available until then. So make sure you guys jump on if you guys have the chance. It doesn't take all that long to redeem just the calling card, and if you guys want to play it out a little bit with a Quad Feed but you don't have all that much time, definitely recommend Infected. A lot of fun, short game modes, and of course, a great time overall. That said, let's jump into the regularly scheduled content. So as of a few days ago, we ended up seeing Black Ops 4 officially announced. This is something in which, as of May 17th, we'll get a full look in at the campaign and what else we can expect, and presumably some leaks here and there, with Treyarch even saying themselves that they have some stuff maybe up their sleeves, or maybe not. Maybe they're messing with us, maybe not. But regardless of the release schedule for the marketing campaign of Black Ops 4 and anything that we'll be seeing in the next couple of weeks to months leading up to the full reveal, and then presumably what may be a beta, an E3 reveal as well, and then they launch inevitably in October, there's one thing that I really want to discuss a little bit with everybody because it's a massive hot topic of discussion in the gaming industry right now, and it's been a long-standing question on when Call of Duty would get into this, if they do at all. So admittedly, today's video is in no way, shape, or form confirmed. It's just a little bit of a thought process and my own ideas on how it could work, if it works at all. So today I want to talk about Call of Duty and a Battle Royale mode within maybe the next upcoming year. And I say this not attached to Black Ops 4 because I think that what we describe here might actually be better than if you attach it to Black Ops 4. The way I envision this working out perfectly is to have actually two titles, one being a free-to-play game and one being your standard release. Your standard release being Black Ops 4 later this year, developed by Treyarch, and the development rotation then could stay the same. Then on the other side, you have the Battle Royale game, in which that's free, and potentially Raven could work on this. Additionally, we could have aspects of how the Battle Royale genre in particular is changing the industry as a whole. One being, the big one right now, Fortnite is free to play. It offers weekly updates, new skins which do cost you money, and that's how that profit margin is made back up, whereas you don't pay for the game itself, you're still making a killing in in-game sales. Then there could be new modes rotated. You could also have weapon rotations, so you have a very small subset of usable weapons, but they keep continuously rotating out, and then maybe some even getting retired. And you could have a full-fledged ranking system as well, not just something that goes up to, like Fortnite does, maybe say a rank 100 or a battle pass rank. You could instead stay true to the Call of Duty franchise and prestige, so you can do it all over again and such, and then you end up earning even more rewards and other cool stuff as a reward. There's no shortage of how this could work, but I think it could be a great option. So this all really stemmed back whenever we ended up seeing, before the official tease of Black Ops 4, that there was the integration of the Battle.net client to the Call of Duty and Activision accounts that you could log in through. And while this is something that might just be very standard, in which you end up linking all your Activision accounts together, it'd be very cool because Battle.net is known for the things like Overwatch, Hearthstone, World of Warcraft, Diablo, those types of games, a lot of which being very much so centered on PC. It's more so a PC client at that, and the immediate parallels that I draw to are the Epic Games client, which again, we're gonna be drawing some parallels here to this in some capacities in this video, just because Fortnite is that big Battle Royale game that everyone knows seemingly. For reference, whenever I go and play on one of my pickup hockey teams and I hear one of my teammates in his mid-30s that does absolutely nothing with video games talking about how much he likes Fortnite, not only that game, but the Battle Royale genre is clearly making its way out there into the mainstream. So my initial thought whenever I saw that this update could integrate Battle.net and your Activision account was, well hey, maybe this is something in which we start to see the basic building blocks of a free-to-play battle royale game. They're integrating something into battle.net to do with your Call of Duty account. So stemming off of that idea, you potentially can go either one of two ways. One, they're trying to move away from Steam, or two, they're adding something else, maybe like a COD online, or maybe something new like a battle royale version. But again, that was the initial catalyst for this thought. How it could actually end up working is once again having two different titles. One being your Black Ops 4 later this year, developed by Treyarch, and then you keep the rotation the same so that you end up having Treyarch, Infinity Ward, and then Sledgehammer all creating their own main titles. Those are still your flagship titles for Call of Duty, and nothing really changes too drastically other than, say, campaign innovation in the multiplayer and other things like that, but your basic format stays the same. You have campaign, multiplayer, and a third mode, potentially a fourth if you want to get really creative and throw it in there, but it does not integrate Battle Royale directly into it. And there's actually a few things that actually even limit the ability that it would have to just be simply thrown into a Call of Duty title, and we'll talk about that in a second. But you also could have, once again, a second title that is a free-to-play Battle Royale game developed by, say, Raven, who already works on Call of Duty Online, which is the free-to-play Call of Duty title over in China. It was created as a result of the console ban that was in effect whenever they wanted to implement Call of Duty and introduce it into that market in the world. But since that ban has been lifted, it's still a very prominent title in the area, and still one that is, of course, something that we, who do not have access to it, really want to see something like that. Because free-to-play, a compilation of literally all the best weapons, maps, modes, all that good stuff from the Call of Duty franchise overall and put into one game, well, that just seems like paradise. Now, with Raven at the helm of COD Online, to me, it's a no-brainer for them to do a very similar project here for a free-to-play, potentially on battle.net. And logistically, once again, in the terms of making profit, I think that there is absolutely no bounds and no ceiling for what it could do. Because when you end up having something like your Black Ops 4, which will bring in a ton of revenue, I can almost guarantee that, you have the microtransactions both for supply drops and other cosmetic items, however that system ends up playing out. You have DLC, and you have even just the initial launch of the game itself, probably going to be breaking numbers in terms of maybe Call of Duty. I don't know if it'll end up breaking the overall record, in which was previously held by Modern Warfare 3, but I think now actually with everything included is Black Ops 3. But depending on how that even shakes up, I can almost guarantee you though that it's going to be a cash cow in a sense. There's going to be no shortage in how much you end up making from Black Ops 4. It's not going to be anything where there's going to be any worry on the sales, but if you end up implementing a Battle Royale free-to-play title, yes, you don't necessarily make money on the initial downloads, but you add in awesome skins that people can end up buying. You end up offering the ability to, say, pay for your way through a battle pass, in which it only gives you cosmetic items and a little bit of an XP boost, that kind of stuff. When you have that sort of system implemented, well, of course, that in itself is a hidden cash cow. You don't really think of it whenever you jump in and, say, play Fortnite or another free-to-play game. A lot of mobile games are like this as well, in which you play the game and you're like, well, I didn't pay anything for the game, but then the next thing you realize, you just spent $5–10 on a cosmetic skin that you didn't even expect to end up doing. Now, granted, I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of spending all that much cash on a game like this, but even I have succumbed to it a little bit. A lot of what I have in Fortnite is mostly because of the battle pass, but there are a few things where I'm like, that is limited time, it's gonna be awesome, and I kinda want it. And I think we're all prone to this sort of thing, especially when the game doesn't cost us $60. I've still spent less on free-to-play games than I have if I would have just even bought a game for $40, $50, $60. So to me, the system itself could work out incredibly easily. Why not just throw it into Black Ops 4? Why not just throw it into, say, Modern Warfare 4, which comes maybe later in next year's title? Why not just implement it here with this? Well, firstly, I think that there are two main fundamental things that really are the hindrance on why they could not just be included. Firstly, one thing is that not everyone wants it. It's not like a zombies mode where it was a massive outcry from that community of people playing the game where they wanted to see it return. It wasn't a hit that originated within Call of Duty and became that staple. So some people want it, some people don't. So if you have, say, a Black Ops 4, which I think everybody is going to be excited for, of course you might not be, but in the grand scheme of just keeping it like a relative generalization, a lot of people want to see a Black Ops 4 in the continuity of how the game has progressed up until this point, say like a multiplayer campaign and zombies modes, and not really sacrificing what Call of Duty is known for and what it's come to at this point. But some people also want a battle royale game. So the way that I see that doing is, well, offer one thing that's going to work, Black Ops 4, like we already know is happening, and then offer something that is working incredibly well elsewhere in the gaming industry, like a free-to-play battle royale game. It keeps the base game true to Call of Duty, but also allows for the brand to experiment and to capitalize on the craze that is battle royale game modes right now. It's something that definitely will work in the sense of making the most of a recent trend, but also keeping true to Call of Duty. But the next and probably biggest hindrance, I think, is, well, the engine itself. Because if you take a look at these battle royale games, they are very much so heavily focused on a large number of players. Fortnite is 100 players max. I think H1Z1 was like 150 or 160. PUBG relatively around the same as well. And so you have triple-digit player counts in one single lobby. The most we've seen in Call of Duty is the headquarters, which is what, like 48 players or something like that? If you guys remember, well, that caused a ton of problems in the multiplayer experience at the launch of COD World War II. So with that said, if you try and increase that to 100, well, if you have that just integrated in a standard Call of Duty engine, like what we'll be seeing in Black Ops 4, the game would either need a tremendous overhaul or just would not work in the multiplayer capacity, how we think it would, if at all. So you'd probably have to upgrade the engine tremendously to handle this map that would have to be massive to host such a game mode, but also to host 100 plus players per game and lobby. So that's something that right now just I don't think Call of Duty can do as Call of Duty coupled with a regular title that we end up getting yearly. Instead, I think it'd have to be its own standalone thing in which we end up seeing from completely maybe say a different developer like Raven, who once again has included things like this of every nature in Call of Duty Online. Updates, skins, mode rotations, a ranking system, and weapon rotations, that's all been seen in Call of Duty Online. So why not bring that here while the craze is still hot? And of course, we can end up seeing something that I think, even though free to play, would absolutely make some waves, and of course, even in the sense of a business, make some money how Fortnite does it essentially. So that said, there's some games out there that could have potential to challenge, but I think if you introduce Battle Royale with the Call of Duty name, well, I think that that is an instant hit and one that really does challenge the market share that games like Fortnite, maybe considering PUBG and maybe even H1 have on the market, and therefore Call of Duty could really have an impact on what we see moving forward with this, once again, recent trend in the gaming industry. So I think it's very possible. This to me is a system that I think would definitely work, that not only keeps Call of Duty, but also expands outward and allows players that are interested in this sort of stuff to take advantage while also still enjoying the perks that Call of Duty, the name, has at its disposal. So that said, I'd love to get your thoughts and feedback. Once again, this is all just theory and speculation and some ideas that I had and I wanted to share with you guys. So what are your thoughts? Do you agree with this? Do you think that it would be something that would work out very well like this? Or do you think that it would be a flop? Whatever it may be, I'd love to get your thoughts and feedback. There really is no right or wrong answer, but of course, if you guys have something you want to add, feel free to down there in the comment section down below. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, make sure you drop a like down below. And of course, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding Call of Duty, both Black Ops 4, World War II, and potentially, maybe in the future, a Battle Royale title as well. If any of it interests you, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing. And if you guys want to follow me over on Twitter, that's the best place to get connected with me outside of YouTube. Practically live on Twitter, so if you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, link is down there in the description below. And finally, if you guys want to follow me over on Instagram, I'm trying to get a little more active over there as well. So if you guys want to follow on that front, feel free to. That link is as well in the description. But all that said, Natalie, hope you guys on a fantastic day. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Mine is an espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.